Okay, so Pokemon Legends Z-A has been released. The reviews are rolling out. I made the decision to really not give it a shot at all, and I've been exploring Poke alternatives, you might say. So I just beat Monster Hunter Stories 1, had fun with that. Moving on to 2 shortly. We just tried the demo for Digimon Story Time Stranger, and that was really good. I think everyone in chat right now is like hyped about that game. We might actually be playing that a bit more on stream. Definitely off stream, I'm buying it. Gonna look at Pal World, but anyways, now that we're like exploring alternatives, I want to like just turn around now that the game is out, see what the general consensus is. And the guy that I follow that had the best takes, his name is BeatEmUps, and his videos are great. He has this great video called "Why Do Pokemon Games Look So Bad?" and it's kind of like, you know, short of like asking a developer or a business person, he does, you know, it's well researched enough that you can kind of, it's like, these are like good opinions. So sounds like we've got a 4-minute goofy intro here, so we'll just check it out and then and get into it. We'll just get into it. I guess we're gonna have I guess this is the game. I guess he's putting himself in the game. This is what the game looks like. Okay. Frosterock says, honestly, the demo for Digi played it and it hooked me to buy it and been hooked on it. Yeah, I mean, we've just been. I'm gonna go buy it after the stream's over. Yeah. Here's more of that. He was the one where I got that take from. I couldn't remember his name, but it's BeatEmUps. He was the one that I got he pointed this out in a video. You see how this is like not, you see how this is a 3D object and these, nothing on here is 3D objects. It's just a PNG over and over again. That's what I was like pointing out like a couple weeks ago to you guys. I got that from him, but God, it looks worse than before. Is this actually, this isn't actually from the game, is it? Dellen, you're an artist. How do you feel about this right now? How do you feel about this, man? Oh, this is actually a great opportunity to soak in the visuals. And I guess Digimon didn't have like the most intense visuals, but it followed just like a tried and true art style. Looks like just SMT kind of Persona vibes, you know? You put a lot of style where it matters. You take away. This looks worse than the Sonic buildings. I called these Sonic buildings before. They couldn't even shade their PNGs, says Dellen. Not gonna lie, it kind of hurts us down. All right, Resident Artist Dellen says it's bad.
897, 899, 800 and wait, did I do 898? Oh.
I was questioning letting this intro play since it's 4 minutes long, but this is exactly what I was looking for.
3 shoots in to here, and then this comes in to there, and then it just kind of
No, stop. Are you serious? No, you can't. This is distressing.
And then this comes in to there.
Guys. No, Game Freak, why? Why are you doing this to me? Guys!
And then it just kind of like, mashes in the that doesn't make any sense.
Oh my God. This is impressive in a bad way.
Hello, is Mr. JPEG home?
No, Mr. PNG lives here.
Oh, sorry, wrong house.
Oh my God. I can't defend this. No, there's no defending. This is why I didn't buy it. I defended Scarlett and Violet, guys. Like, I can't defend this.
And then,
I can't, man.
They don't want. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Dude.
Flat. And then it.
Oh my God.
One. Just one. Let me. In a one.
Bro,
Want to leave, but it won't move.
Dude, this is like hard to watch.
Go!
It's like actually hard to watch. That's so messed up. Also, remember the entire city's a single model.
Why
Are
is
you
every
serious?
window flat.
No, it's
And then, what? If it?
guys. This is not good. This is.
If it? Whoa!
People did the deep dive. Sorry, I have ads. People did the deep dive. The entire city is a single model. You can't be serious. Let's look. Dude, this is so bad. No. What? No. Oh. Oh no. Pokemon Legends Z-A's entire Lumio City is a single model with 355,000 vertices. While most are making fun of Game Freak's approach, others are trying to understand the reasoning behind this. The tweet is just LMFAO. Oh God, guys, what? Hold on, can I get to the actual? The game, sir. Your game, sir. Did like an intern do it or something? Oh man. All right. Well. All right, let's get back to the video. I didn't even understand it was that bad. Why would you do that? What is the point of that? Oh. Some intern in Blender made this in 3 hours and said, fuck it. An intern couldn't mess up that badly. They probably wanted to create a seamless environment. Yeah, okay, but then they made it look as unseamless as possible with the PNGs they plastered all over. Sorry, I guess it's not buildings, it's one asset. I've been saying buildings. I'm sorry. Listen, we do serious journalism here at Gaijin Hideout. This is not two different buildings that we're making fun of for having two different, clashing PNG sets. These are not. This is all one big asset, one big building, and so is the ground. And we're just talking about how they've shoved different PNGs together, and it looks funny. I'm gonna have a stroke, man. This is bad. How much do we want to bet we can't enter a single one of these buildings? Well, they give you the one for battles and the one for hanging out, right?
Oh, there's a microphone in the trash.
All right,
I guess
let me know
I'll
how
talk
volume
in
is.
it. So this gorgeous video game that you've been staring at is what Game Freak likes to call 3D 2D. Yeah, I know. You thought that was what Square Enix was doing.
What
No,
the
that's like 2D
fuck?
HD or 3D HD, something like that. I don't know. No, this is the new 3D 2D, where you build a lot of 3D assets, but then slap 2D models on them. It's really cool.
That's trash. They're not calling it 3D 2D. Stop. No, they're not. Don't tell me. You made that up. Stop. 3D 2D Oh God,
Quite
I'll take his word
ingenious,
on
something really creative when you think
upsetting.
about it. I mean, really, the only downside is that it sucks. I have a lot of early first impressions thoughts on Pokemon Z-A. I sat down tonight and I played it for several hours, which was almost enough time to get out of the very hand-holdy tutorial that this game has. Almost! I understand that Pokemon games, even to this day, are made for children. I get that. I do. It's kind of like growing up with Disney movies and then expecting them now to be for adults because
Okay, but let me see if he's gonna make the point that I would make on this.
I'm 35. Being an adult is awesome. And this game, Pokémon Z-A, is still very much targeted to children. The game assumes that you've never played a video game before in your life. In fact, in many ways, the game assumes that you've never done anything before in your life. Legends Arceus had the same issue.
Okay, look, I'll just make the point now. All right, it's made for children. Fine. Number one, Nintendo has always been an all ages company, and they market Pokemon as all ages. Pokemon Go was targeted at adults and kids, you know, and their entire ecosystem was designed to pull you in. Like Let's Go, like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu on Switch. That was for you to like play with your girlfriend who doesn't play video games, okay, or your mom, or your like whoever, you know. Or your coworker that played Pokemon Go but doesn't play normal Pokemon, and so that the gamer friend, you know, can play with like your casual friend or your kid or whoever, and you can all go redo Red and Blue but with like casual controls. So they've done that forever, first of all, and secondly, who does this to their kids? Who would put their kids through this? Who's subjecting their kids to this shit? I had great games as a kid. I had great Pokemon games as a kid. I grew up with Gen 3. I did, you know, Game Boy Color when I was really small. And then when it took root was like Gen 3. I had great Pokemon games as a kid. I had great video games as a kid. I would never put my kids through this.
Ways the game assumes that you've never played a video game before in your life. In fact, in many ways, the game assumes that you've never done anything before in your life. Legends Arceus had the same issue, just a constant slog of tutorial and talking and dialogue and pop-ups and learn this. Once you break free the shackles that is the start of this game, which I'm pretty sure is the same exact quote that I gave in my Arceus review, it does actually start to get pretty enjoyable as the game opens up and it allows you to enjoy the day and night cycle of it all. Catching Pokemon in the day, battling randos down alleyways at night. This game just teaches kids so many great lessons. Also, this is Nintendo's most expensive game so far.
Oh, man. See, he even said, like, the formula's still fun, which fucking sucks. Because, like, it's probably still fun. Because the Pokemon formula is awesome. It is fun. Pokemon games are fun. That was my defense of Scarlett and Violet, was like, yeah, it runs like trash. This isn't acceptable at all. It's full of bugs. A lot of the design stuff's uninspired. But like, you took Pokemon and you made it open world, and you got out of the way enough that I had a lot of fun with that game. And that was a broken game. This game's arguably less broken, just more what the hell are they doing this time? But yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that like there's like, you know, it could be good. Like, you're probably playing this game and you're like, this could be great.
Oh, $100 if you include the $30.
It is a hell of a lot more stable than Scarlet and Violet. I hope so. They released the real console this time. They released the real console. They put it out on the fake jank console that they tricked us all into buying.
Nintendo's most expensive game so far. $100 if you include the $30 day one DLC.
Oh, God.
That said, that's about it, at least what I've discovered so far. This big old map, you have Poke Centers that you can walk into, and then there's a bunch of shops that you can look at. I bet the inside of this cafe is gorgeous. We'll never know, but thankfully...
Oh, even on Switch 1 it runs better? Well, yeah, it's probably because they constrain the whole game to a single city.
For us, the barista is standing outside the cafe on the steps, and you can talk to him, and a text menu will pop up, and he'll just hand you whatever you want outside of the cafe.
Psycho, you called it really well so far. I'm not seeing a single building so far that we can go into besides, not counting the story ones.
How cafes work. Why go through the effort of having like a whole store when you can just paint a wall and stand out the front. I don't really understand this. I mean, even as like a kid, I know the game is designed for kids, but even as a child, I remember being so impressed when I can actually go into a location in a video game. That element was never lost on me. So I don't really think the argument here is, well, the game's made for kids. They don't want to go inside a store.
Oh, this is
No,
child
I think
abuse.
they do. I think even like a 7-year-old would be
Neglect.
bummed out
Child
by this,
neglect.
but what do I know? All right, let's
Literal
talk about the
child
windows.
This AI tool will create a stunning ebook.
Got ads because I'm poor. Game Freak just remaster Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, please. They did. It's called Fire Red and Leaf Green, and you're not getting a better remaster than that.
I should do a
because go see the Pearl and Diamond remasters for what a remaster would look like.
I kind of feel like I should do a better follow-up than this to a video that I made back in March that has, as of right now, almost 2 million views. Clearly my weird gripe with the win.
This is the video I watched, by the way. It's called, oh, you can't see it on my, why are Pokemon games so outdated? Yeah.
Windows actually resonated with a lot of people. I really thought it was just me. In fact, even recently, there was a bunch of Giga leaks from the Pokemon Company, which seems to keep happening. All Game Freak's future Pokemon plans all the way to the Pokemon Company, which is me. In fact, even recently, there
Another devastating Pokemon League reveals plans for future games, but it's the reported development budgets that have left players stunned.
was a bunch of Giga leaks from
Pokemon developer Game Freak's plans up to 2030 have been leaked. Really?
the Pokemon Company, which seems to
The apparent leaked Pokemon budgets have everyone talking. ZA's graphics might disappoint fans, but Game Freak's strength might be a conservative
happening.
approach. What is that glaze from Polygon? What is this?
all Game Freak's future Pokemon plans all the way to 2030 got leaked online, and included in that was a little tidbit from 2023 where the game was actually fully modeled. All the windows and balconies, they were all there, and it looked pretty great. But guess what? They took a little photo of it, and then they slapped that photo on the buildings because it eased up on the processing power. It made the game perform and run better, which I don't know who figured that one out before a bunch of Giga leaks had to happen. Oh, was it me? I went into it in
He did. He called that entirely in this video. It was really impressive.
my video, but with Scarlett and Violet and Sword and Shield having these purposely designed, decent looking buildings, I guess you could
Listen, it was open world. It was open world Pokemon. I had so much fun with it just for that. I know it looks like ass. I
say,
know,
but they weren't JPEGs. Like, they've never utilized this way of game design before, so why now? And I will say, for the most part, it has worked. I mean, in the 6 hours that I've played on my Switch 2, the game's been 60 frames 4K essentially the whole time. I mean, it's actually running and looking pretty nice. And with all of those edges really clean and the HDR,
Give me the jank back. At least as a streamer, you could make. I have so many YouTube shorts with tons of views off of Scarlet and Violet bugs, man. At least look, if you've got jank in your game and it's still got life, Dragon's Dogma fans know what that's all about, there's no harm in some jank, even if it's broken. I miss it. Do you guys really think this is an upgrade from Scarlet and Violet? You can't. It's not open world, but it's 60 FPS because everything is one model.
actually running and looking pretty nice. And
Just give us back the buggy one. Is that too insane to say? This is not.
with all of those edges really clean and the HDR popping and the vibrancy and the color.
I wish I encountered any bugs in Violet. They look so bloody funny. We can look at them on my channel afterwards.
I gotta be honest, this is the best
ones
looking
I've found.
Pokemon game that Game Freak have ever designed. I want to stress Game Freak. I'm not talking about like Pokemon Snap, which was another team. I mean Game Freak. They really have done their best work here, and I do have to appreciate it. I mean, the whole picture does come together quite pretty, as long as you just keep moving and you don't stare at it for too long.
Like, look, guys, each one of these 4 people are standing in the exact same default model way. They all have the same model. And it's like,
It was also in those
4 people in a city, by the way. Four people in a major city square. You remember earlier tonight I was like, guys, how many people would make up a crowd in a Pokemon game? Because we were in that packed crowd in Digimon. It was was like, man, how many characters would constitute a busy city crowd? We're at 4. Oh no.
They all have the same model. And it's like,
It was also in those data leaks that the entire city, this big-ish, it's not that big. I actually
I was off by 3x apparently. Yeah, sorry, milk things.
timed running from one end of the city to the other tonight on stream, and it only took a minute and a half. It's a very small city. I can see
No.
the city to this big-ish, it's not that big. I actually timed running from one end of the city to the other tonight on stream, and it only took a minute and a half. It's a very small city. I can see this game getting pretty old pretty quickly. This whole city is one 3D model that's rendered in at all times. You know that nice little tactic that a lot of video games do so that they can make their games look nice and put as many assets and cool things into the world as possible? That they have it so it only renders in what you can see. You know, the area that you're currently in, and then it doesn't bother rendering in the rest of the game. Well,
Yeah.
Game Freak said, no. Even when you're all the way over here on this side of the map, we're gonna have all the map, all the way everywhere rendered in at all times, even when you can't see it. I don't know why, but that's what they decided to do. And then when they decided to do that, I guess they went, oh, but now the game's running bad. So rather than change this detrimentally flawed idea and concept that we had, how about we make everything a JPEG, and that way it'll be easy to render in everything at the same time, even the stuff that the player can't see because they're on the other side of the map. And then everyone else at Game Freak went, yeah!
You know what this is? I would say, okay, you could say like, all right, developers make the game, maybe it's their fault, like it's bad, but we know from like other Game Freak projects, like that new one that they're doing that's not for Nintendo, we know that they can make, their developers are not incompetent. What this reminds me of is if you've worked in software development long enough, you will run into this phenomenon at large brand name corporations, where like product managers, product owners, like non-technical, like planning people have the biggest pull. And there will be this attitude on like every development team where it's like, if work is done on the clock, you need to use that work. So if you build something stupid, but it fulfills a purpose that a manager or a product owner or someone could check off on a checklist for their supervisor, then you are going to want to use that shitty version instead of a third-party version that's not from the company, or building your own for your team that you, even if you can prove it's better. And it's a huge uphill battle to talk your way out of that. So like what he just talked about there, that sounds exactly like what happened. Like someone made the decision to, okay, we're going to add in the feature. I'm working on this on the Jira ticket for adding the auto-populating feature. Like we forgot to specify in the requirements. We don't want it auto-populating everywhere because we're like disorganized and stupid, and we shipped it. But we haven't added all the environment models in yet. So we already have our auto-populating feature module. I don't know how game development works. I do like apps, but like, you know, like we've already shipped that. We don't want to go back and modify that because maybe it'll break, or, you know, it's usable. So we'll just, when we move on to the buildings, we'll just put PNGs on the buildings. Like that's the logic. That's like the flawed logic that would happen. In like the kinds of, it's very similar. Like I've seen that in like similar places where it's like, okay, like I'm building this tool that all these other somebody built this tool that all these other teams have to use. It's broken and bad. I don't want to use it for my project. We should rewrite this tool if we're going to use it for everybody's projects. And it's just, no. Cause that's extra work. And that's like admitting that we did something wrong. And like, that's all going to look bad to management. So we can't do it. You know, if that makes sense. That's a guess from like a fellow developer's perspective. I don't do video games, but I'm seeing some familiar, all kinds of developers deal with the same kind of stupid, so it looks familiar. Oops. I have the volume off. Hold on. Oh, hey, Licorice, welcome. Classic Nintendo with how they managed Pokemon franchise, minimal effort and budget for maximizing.
Everything a JPEG, and that way
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
pretty
easy
bad.
to render in everything at the same time, even the stuff that the player can't see because they're on the other side of the map. And then everyone else at Game Freak.
Yeah, Milk Things says, mostly checks out from my experience, not a game dev either. Yeah, Milk Things knows what I'm talking about, so it's brutal.
And stuff that the player can't see because they're on the other side of the map. And then everyone else at Game Freak went, yeah!
What the fuck happened? Oh, it's a joke. Oh, you get it? He says, can we talk about how they can't afford voice actors? Oh, I thought my audio went out. I had a small heart attack for a second.
I'm not even kidding. And it's going to sound like I'm beating a dead horse. I actually freaked out for a second, and I was like, oh my God, the game's on mute. And
I just freaked out because you put the video on mute, dude.
I was trying to figure out how to unmute the game. And then I had a moment where I realized there's no voice acting. It is just dead silent right
Well,
now.
thanks. I know exactly how you feel now.
I honestly thought...
No, stop. You did not think about doing the whole video about this, but too fucking annoying. He bleeped the slur. Just like it is in this game.
I'll dive more into the way that the game looks and the weird design choices in a future video. For now, it is quite literally exactly what I said it was and what it was going to be in my video that I made back in March. So I don't really have anything else to say. They quite literally are pictures of buildings slapped on the front of rectangles.
The closer I get, the more people pop out. And then as I get here, some people pop in and more people pop out.
Oh,
this
no.
is ridiculous.
No.
This is actually insane to look at if you start focusing at it.
I've done a lot of complaining. And I'll see you guys next time. I've done a lot of complaining, but there is a couple things I do really like about this game. And I know that the bar for that is so far down, it's like below the floor. I'm really enjoying the new combat gameplay. It's by far the highlight of this game. Separating the traditional battle mechanics as far away as possible from the core series, I think, is integral here. I like the 4-move turn-based setup of a traditional Pokemon game as much as the next guy. I mean, I've been playing it that way back since Red and Blue. But I think having this new experimental format that kind of brings us closer to what the actual anime was like growing up is a great spin-off side tangent for them to explore. And it works really well here. You move around the battle.
Yeah, except I think I saw they're treating this as like a main game. Like they're treating this as seriously as a main game. It's effectively a main game. Like the Legends games are no longer spin-off games. Like this is your Pokemon game for now, right? And then the other thing is, like, look, I think people were comparing this to Xenoblade, like Xenoblade Chronicles. Like you've got, I played Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for a little bit a while ago. And so it's like, I guess it's probably like FF14, right? Like it's like they've all got cooldowns. Like it's button presses and cooldowns, and that's an MMO with extra steps. You just have all the numbers, and you're pressing the numbers, and then it cools down. And Xenoblade was like that, but mapped to like face buttons on the Switch, and it would just cool down. Like, I mean, is that experimentation? At that point, I guess Legends Arceus was experimentation in the sense that it was doing Breath of the Wild and Monster Hunter things, and that worked and that was fun. So maybe I can't shit on that too much, or shit on that philosophy too much. But like, this looks like a lot less fun than Xenoblade Chronicles was. So like, if you're just purely doing Pokemon, like coming from the Pokemon fan perspective, yeah, maybe it's amazing, like because it's like you're so close to feeling like you're in the anime, but. Man, I don't know if I'm more of a visual guy nowadays or something, but it just looks like it would really take you out of it. Like just having everything looking the way it is, and then playing like if you've played any other game where they have this kind of system, it's gonna be like it just looked to me like it almost looks like a free-to-play version, like a gacha game version of this or something, like something you'd make for a mobile game, you know, not as like involved and fine-tuned or whatever. That was like one of the things that turned me off the most, actually, was like the gameplay looks like something that a more mature action RPG would have, but like the, like casual gacha game freemium app version or something.
Filled all in real time, and you can tell your Pokemon where to move and stand in real time, which means you can actually have it actively move out of the way of attacks. One of my favorite things about my playthrough so far is I found a TM for Fire Spin, which is a move that previously was kind of useless in the turn-based traditional setting of Pokemon, but in this game it is a giant burning ring of fire that does damage ticks as long as Pokemon are standing in it, and it's also because it's an AoE, it can hit multiple Pokemon at once, and it just melts Pokemon away. And this is an
Win
element
button.
that can really only happen with
Gacha games look way better than modern day. Oh yeah, Legends Arceus was probably a step up from what came right before and after. Yeah, Legends Arceus was
this
pretty good.
new style of battling, and I'm just really enjoying it. The catching
Legends Arceus is
mechanic
fun.
is
It's
similar to
addictive.
how it was in Arceus, how it's all in real time, and I still love that we have that because I'd wanted that for so long. If you liked Arceus, this is similar, but not really. I mean, they've changed so much. Arceus was a game where you had like a little home base, and you would go out into these big, expansive, different terrain environments and catch all of these Pokemon, and then come back with your materials and craft Pokeballs and go out and do it again. It was kind of like Monster Hunter. This is just
Boom, boom, boom. I have the correct opinions.
in a small city, and you go and catch stuff at day, and you battle people at night. And that's the game.
Ask me if this game was worth a whopping $100 US dollars if you include the $30 DLC expansion. I would have to say no. Oh, what's that? You didn't hear me? Let me say it a little louder. No.
That's just my first impressions. I got to keep playing the game. I'll let you know what I think. Okay, bye.
Oh, man. Dude, that is so brutal, man. I don't know. Like, okay, if we're being really fair, especially since I just played Digimon, you could probably pick apart that Digimon game visually, and there's a lot of, like, silly bullshit in there. But it's a lot more, like, silly Atlas visual bullshit, like... like the NPC models not having faces, but it's like, oh, it's like a stylistic choice, or oh, like it's like this game was developed on a $5 budget. Like it kind of depends on what Atlas game I guess you're talking about, or what like the situation. But none of it is like anywhere close to like egregious like this. And Digimon is, no offense to Digimon fans, as someone who's rapidly joining one of you, but like nobody has any standards for like the Digimon series, until recently. I don't think with the Pokemon, like the collapse of Pokemon, is like they just don't have, because it's not a Nintendo game. I don't think people are putting the same level of pressure on third-party games like a Digimon or a Power World or something like that. And so just the fact that it's like so much more put together, if like a little, it's you can tell it's like smaller budget, but it's fitting within its budget. It's got a good art style. It's competent. It's very competent. Like the Digimon art style for that game. It's just shocking, like how much better executed it is than something like this that's coming from freaking Nintendo, Game Freak. It's like, oh, it's not Nintendo, it's Game Freak. It's like, dude, there's like just no excuse for this. There's no excuse for this. Like, it's the most successful brand in world history. Like, get it together. It's like when like Disney movies started taking a shit. It's like you can't be. You ought to be embarrassed. And, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And that is like one thing I do want to say is like a lot of people were talking about boycotting Pokemon and switching over to Digimon or switching over to Power World or another game, and that you should definitely boycott. I do want to like just say this at the end. I don't think that works at all, personally. I don't think that's ever how anything has worked in the history of supply and demand. I think the fact that people didn't know they liked Pokemon until a company invented Pokemon, got them hooked on Pokemon, and is now like selling them like reheated garbage Pokemon and making more money than ever. I think that proves that the way that entire the entire economic system works, your boycott idea will not work, with all due respect. What I do think works and what has worked in a lot of games over on PC, and more recently, I think has even benefited Monster Hunter fans, for example, which is the game we play on here, one of the main games we play, is shame. I think public shame works. So that means like big Nintendo reviewers being honest about how they feel about the game. That means something to the equivalent of like negative Steam reviews, because that will get people motivated. Like Monster Hunter like launched earlier this year and did not have a great start technically on PC at all. But to be honest with you, from what I've seen, a lot of the core Monster Hunter fans were more than willing to accept that based on how past releases have gone. They were down for it. And Capcom made a killing when it was launched, when it was first launched, and they made like a ton of money off of it, relatively speaking, compared to other games. It's very shocking, very impressive, despite the fact that there were all these technical issues. Okay, but you fast forward like 10 months now, and Capcom is really pivoted in terms of how quickly it's now trying to address a lot of the issues in terms of like content availability and like fixing at least some of the performance issues. And it's like, okay, well, if they made all their money on day one and most of the core fans were down with like, just waiting it out anyways, what changed this time? And honestly, from what I'm seeing, it was shame. It was massive review bombs on Steam. It was huge public outcry from people that may be Monster Hunter fans. They may not be Monster Hunter fans. It's more just the era we're in that like they happen to walk into like a time frame where it's like, I don't care that this game is good when it's like at 27 FPS, or I don't care if the whole fan base is waiting. A huge mob of us is going to be yelling like crazy. And lo and behold, right at the point where I was about to put down the game, even as a pretty intense fan, they turned it around and they fixed a lot of critical issues in Title Update 2. They like moved forward some content, like adding the 9-star monsters, and that's kept us very, very happy. And they're committing to like doing some major fixes in Title Update 4. We're still a little nervous, but it's like my point is they didn't get to just take the money and run, like they sold all their money day one. They had a huge backlash that wasn't even tied to like their core fans who were going to buy the game regardless. And they're kind of just doing it for PR purposes. So I say all that to say, talk about the game. Like, go buy the game if you want to buy the game. If you're a Pokemon person, I totally get like you just buying this game because you're a Pokemon person, or even if you like just have nostalgia for it, go buy the game. It's going to sell 1 billion copies anyway. It's the biggest brand in world history. You're not going to boycott it. But if you don't like the game, whip out your phone and film yourself, put it on TikTok, put it somewhere, post online, post a clip, and say, hey, I bought this game. This thing sucks. This thing's good. This thing sucks. And that is what you can do to like force this situation to improve, in my opinion. It's not going to be through boycotting. It's going to be through backlash and through shame. It's going to get to somebody, okay? Nintendo is a proud company. They're proud people running Nintendo. If you attack their pride respectfully, objectively, you just put stuff out there that is like a violation of their pride, their life's work, somebody high enough is going to make a change. That's like my personal opinion on this. I know a bunch of people said stuff while I was going off, so... But I hope they won't destroy Mega Darkrai since he will be in the DLC. I don't know. The Megas haven't been very great that I saw. Their pride has been eroded by greed. Well, then it's how much shame can they put up with? At what point is it worth it? At what point does the money not become worth it? Let's see. Capcom is also very communicative with their intentions and listen to player feedback. We always respect that. Yeah, that's true. And they still got blowback for it. Like, they just got... I'm not even saying, like, the blowback that they got, that Capcom got was, like, nice or, like, civil or whatever. But, like, I can't lie that it, like... You could tell it really lit a fire under them. They were communicative and they were doing their thing. And then it was like... And then it was like, it got really intense, and they're like, hey, like our employees don't feel comfortable and stuff. And then all I know is like it turned around really fast, you know? So I'm not encouraging like harassment, anything crazy like that. But I'm saying like the fervor of like, this sucks. It got so much that they did, like you look on their release schedule, they did move things up, you know, that they had communicated were going to be there before. And they were like, well, the communicating didn't work. They got literal death threats. Yeah, they took it too far. Pokemon, I'm not worried about like taking it too far. I'm not worried about death threats over Pokemon. I'm kind of more worried about. I wouldn't expect to see that. I'm honestly expecting to see people be like very light on this game because everyone has a soft spot for Pokemon like I do. It kills me to like have to talk about this a little bit. It kills me less to see people agreeing with me, because this, you know, it kind of gives me hope. But you know, I grew up with Pokemon. It's fun. It's beyond fun. It's like addicting. It's like, you know, you're never gonna top Pikachu, or it's gonna like. I don't know if I guess you shouldn't say that because Pokemon topped Disney as a brand. You know, it's gonna take a miracle to top, you know, Pikachu in terms of brand appeal, in terms of like that's our character. So he didn't touch on the fact that if you want the Kalos megas like Mega Greninja, you have to pay for online too to PvP people for the stone. Oh yeah, that's really scummy. General reception from people I know, skip Scarlett Violet, have liked ZA, so it depends who you ask and what they're looking for. Yeah, that's true. I guess a lot of people would have skipped Scarlet and Violet, huh? Let me see what else people said. Oh, Black Mage back here said, oh, unrelated goon slop comment. Never mind. Digimon is usually flown under the radar due to the popularity of Pokemon. Yeah, I guess have they just always been this good? Like from what I played recently. So they needed. Oh, here we go. Psycho Troop. They needed to take Arceus and evolve it, but no, they ate the bleach Tide Pods. Dude, Legends Arceus was good. Legends Arceus was good, and I remember making fun of like the pop in and stuff like that in Legends Arceus, and you know, and it's the way it kind of looked and stuff, and I kind of regret it. Like I'm almost like, what have I done? You know, like man, we didn't know how good we had it with Legends Arceus. Oh my god, man. Well, anyways, that is the general tone pulse of or tone, what would you say, like that's the vibe. That's the vibes we're feeling from Legends Z-A over here on Gaijin Hideout, I think. Jeff, Legends Arceus playthrough win. Oh, you guys want to see something? It exists. It's not good. You know what? I don't need to show that. It exists on the VODs channel. There's a hidden playlist of like unlisted VODs on the VODs channel if you scroll down. And if you go far enough back, it's there's Legends Z-A. It's I tried to do like a monotype Nuzlocke on like the open world game with the exploration. That didn't like make sense. So like in retrospect, I was just only capturing normal types when I should have just been wandering around like with Wanderlust, you know, like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild style, just grabbing whatever I felt like. And then I skipped all the dialogue. I was in my peak dialogue skipping era, and that had the most dialogue I'd ever seen, and just stupid bits from when I was really new to streaming. So it exists. We should probably redo the Legends Arceus. Should we do Legends Arceus as a protest against Legends Z-A? Just do the Legends Arceus playthrough. I'll just redo it and do it right this time. Maybe that may need to be the way we get 100%. Oh, that's a really funny idea. I liked Arceus. It was just really tough to play for me. Digimon first. Oh, of course, we're locked in on Digimon. But I'm kind of hooked on this this kind of habit of finding like you know what something to scratch my Pokemon itch, even if it's an older Pokemon game. I'm down for that. Let me see something. Pokemon Legends Z-A on Twitch, 51,000 viewers. So there's a lot of people. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Is there even a category for Pokemon Legends Arceus? Pokemon Legends. Ooh, okay. Oh, there it is. Nope, not a lot of people. Yeah, everyone. I think any outside of people that are thinking kind of like this, that are maybe former Pokemon fans or just never were Pokemon fans. I fear at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of, it's going to be more of the same. And I'm saying that as someone that, I got back into the Pokemon hype for Switch, and I bought Sword and Shield, and I bought the DLC for Sword and Shield, and I bought Scarlet and Violet, and I bought the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And depending on what you have the biggest problem with in Pokemon games, one of those is like the worst thing you've ever done. I could have ever done, So, so I fear it's going to be more of that. But I think if people are just more vocal and just like start cutting to the chase about how they feel, even if they feel that there's stuff that was done really well, we just raise your voice about it, because the game's going to sell like hotcakes anyway. And if you get a strong enough backlash, enough shame, I do think that will change stuff. But anyways, thank you for watching. This kind of turned into a rant at the end there, but this Pokemon, I've been growing up with Pokemon forever. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe, and check me out at twitch.tv/Gaijin Hideout, where I stream. I'll probably be streaming Digimon, it sounds like, but right now I'm streaming on Friday evenings. We do Monster Hunter, and then on Saturday mornings we do FF14. So we do other cool Japanese games that Westerners like here. But yeah, thanks. Peace out.